everybody. This is another episode of the podcast, Supreme Being. I'm your host, BC. If you want to, as always, first and foremost, you need anything real estate, go to teambcsold.com. We can help you here locally in California, or we can send you to somebody who is an expert in your area. Number two, if you're in real estate and you want to partner with myself and my team, go to partnerwithteambc.com and check out the video, get a call with us, and see if you want to take advantage of that opportunity. And lastly, Modern Success, my community, my thriving community that I really want to keep promoting. You know, I really do enjoy it. And Modern Success itself is a movement that I've created, so I really recommend you join it. Right now I'm promoting the Video Marketing Challenge, but after that, the link in my Instagram will be back to that, and you can also go to bryancasella.com, okay? So, let's begin, okay? When it comes to the holiday season, I want to talk to everybody about the holiday season real quick for 15 or 20 minutes on this podcast because it's a video that I released today on YouTube, but it's something that I want to discuss because it's a micro to a macro type of thing, okay? We're entering another period of the year, right, where certain expectations and things are going to be thrown on you, and you don't realize that you fall into certain social norms and patterns, and if you're not aware of it, right, then you suffer. A lot of what I teach is for you to get awareness and get your power back as an individual, so you're not played by the game, but you're playing the game. Okay, now the video on YouTube, I recommend you watch it, but we're going to discuss something different tonight in relation to this, because this same thing that we talk about tonight in respect to the holidays, we find these examples everywhere. It's just in particular right now, we're in that season where in November and December, a lot of people are falling prey to things, okay? Right now, we're in the holiday season, which is one of the most depressing times for people, one of the saddest times for people. And I'm going to get into exactly why here in a second, but you need to know that, right? All the bullshit that they preach to you about, oh, it's a cheerful time and family time and we love each other. More people will commit suicide now, get depressed, and have negative psychological effects than any other time of the year, period. Now, many people don't know that, or they claim that it's bullshit. Do your research, okay? Because right now they push people to spend time with their family and all that, and that's the thing. But many people have broken families, or they don't have families, or they're away from their families. That's one of the leading causes and contributors to that sadness and depression. So take a look at that, okay? How many people right now from a financial standpoint are feeling this pull, this obligation to buy gifts for people, to do all these things and spend all this money that they don't have? A lot of people now will put themselves, more than ever during the year, in financial ruins because of this expectation to buy people gifts, and I'm supposed to do this and I'm supposed to do that. And in many cases, they're buying these gifts and spending this money on people that, again, they don't give a shit about. They really don't. But they feel this obligation to do it. Why? Because of the whole social pressure and social image. Well, if I don't, then everyone makes fun of me and they criticize me, and then everyone might think I'm broke, and I can't have people think that I'm broke because then they're going to criticize me more, and I'm going to be miserable, and I'm going to be judged, and it's this trap, okay? Now, I want to say something, right? If this is the only time of the year that you can spend time with your family, you have fun with them, to genuinely, that's the key word. If it's a genuinely good time for you, then cool, right? Then that's awesome. But at least you're doing it as it's supposed to be. But you're that fraction of the percent, and you're that very small group. Now, what a lot of people will do is put on a facade, and oh no, this is the happiest time of the year, and I'm great, but deep down inside, they're fucking miserable. And they're just saying that shit to be a fucking parrot, okay? Only that individual will know if they're actually doing it correctly, or if they're happy and fulfilled. We'll never know. Now, in most cases, the truth will reveal itself a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. But you need to understand that, okay? Do things, before I continue, do things for you. Just because it's November and December doesn't mean you have to celebrate the holidays. It doesn't mean you have to buy shit. It doesn't mean that you have to attend all these parties if you don't want to. It doesn't mean that it's okay for you to eat extra and gain weight. No, it's not. Stick to your standards as a person, your values, your ethics as an individual. You don't have to do what society tells you and how you're supposed to be. Many of you who follow me, if you're listening to what I'm saying, I literally do the exact fucking opposite of what they tell you to do. All the time. And do you see me winning? Yes. Compare a lot of things about me to the average person to get your answer. So that trail has been blazed and continues to be blazed by a few people, just for your reference. But before we continue, take a look at what you're doing this week, next week, and all through December. How much of that remains to be your intentions, what you want to do, versus, oh, well, I'm supposed to do this because it's the holidays. And you'll be surprised, even if you're aware of it, how much of that bullshit has snuck in. And you feel this unconscious pull to want to satisfy other people for no fucking reason. Oh, I'm supposed to do this. Well, I really should do this. That's a key. You don't should anything. Right? Take a look, because sometimes it creeps in. This is that type of poison that slowly eats you away and eats us away. Until you wake up one day, you're like, holy shit, what's going on? And then it's like almost too late at that point because you're so deeply entrenched. So we've talked about health. We've talked about finances a little bit. We've talked about mental health and how many people now break down. Now let's look at behaviors. Okay? We're coming up on, I believe, this Friday, correct, would be Black Friday. Now let's take a look at some of that shit. We have people who probably already right now and tomorrow and probably last weekend have already begun to line up in front of stores for these discounts, meaning they will miss out on days or multiple days, precious hours and minutes and seconds of productivity to sit in front of a fucking store, camp out for a discount. When if they spent that time being productive, they could make so much more fucking money and create so many opportunities that they could buy whatever the fuck they wanted. So think about that behavior. Think about how deeply inside of that person's brain they're embedding all of the wrong things. I need a discount. I don't make enough money. I only buy things when they're, 80% off. I wait for this time of year. You get what I'm saying? There's so many flaws in that. Now, if you're at home and like Cyber Monday or Black Friday, you go on and you buy something, and it's a normal behavior for you to go and buy something online, that's fine, because you can take advantage of the deals, of course. Or if you strategically put some money aside, and you're going to take advantage of the discounts, perfectly fine. Or if you yourself are a business owner and you understand the game and you're like, hey, I'm going to do something for Black Friday and, people are going to buy my stuff, cool. Then you're playing the game correctly. Congratulations, you're winning. You're not falling victim to this shit. You're utilizing it as a player of the game. Of course. So I'll clap for you because I do the same shit. However, if you're falling on the other end of the spectrum, take a good look at your life. And think about, again, the havoc you're wrecking on your own mind and your mechanism, because you're communicating things to yourselves. When you fall into these types of patterns, the subliminal communication to your system and your psyche is what people miss. I mean, wait till they share the videos of people fighting, literally fighting to get into the store first, or over that last toy where they save an extra couple bucks. People will literally get in a fucking fist fight. Now, I watch that shit and kind of laugh because to me it seems like very animal-type behavior. But it's ridiculous. But I'm like, you know what? I can't feel bad for those people because they've put themselves in those positions. And as adults, they have consented to that behavior, and therefore they must be held 100% responsible and liable for their actions. They didn't put themselves, no one else, put them there. They put themselves there. So they have to answer to their transgressions and what they're doing. Period. End of story. But they'll point the finger. Oh, well, I got here first and that person should have cut in line. That doesn't matter. Your ass was there. You put yourself in that position. It's like people who walk into stuff and then, that area that I went to, I just went to party. Yeah, dude, but you knew that place and that part of town is aggressive. There was a protest or something there. You already had all of the indicators to not be there, and you knew the possibility of you being there, you would get caught up in something like that. We have to be strategic here. So just like with Black Friday, people are putting themselves in those areas. And that's why if something unfortunate, maybe out of their control happens, they still were at cause because they put themselves there. This is key. This is you walking into something of the possibility of something even worse happening or something bad happening, being at the wrong place at the wrong time. But that's not by chance a lot of times. A lot of times, yeah, we have the cases where, of course, they had no control. But in a lot of times, people do have that control because they put themselves in an actionable position. They don't want to take responsibility for it, but if they really analyze a little bit more, they put themselves there. And again, they have to take responsibility. So now let's step away from the holidays for a second and let's look. Let's look on the opposite end of the spectrum of opportunity. If I'm somebody who now wants to, grow my real estate business, right? For the realtors that follow me. If I'm out there knocking on doors and making calls every fucking day, hour after hour, I'm putting myself in potential opportunities. I'm putting myself on that path of potential opportunity because you never know what's going to happen. And what I'm referring to is outside of the actual call or door-to-door scenario. I might be walking through a neighborhood and somebody stops me. I might be making a phone call and I call the wrong person. And I happen to get somebody on the line who wasn't even my original intention that turns into an opportunity. I may be walking through a neighborhood, somebody pulls up to a house and asks me a question, and that turns into an opportunity of somebody I meet or a potential client. Why? Because I'm at the right place at the right time doing what I'm supposed to do, which is the opposite of what I just described for the people sitting in front of fucking stores on a Black Friday. You see? And this is one of those secret things, even though it's not secret, that is one of the biggest factors of people succeeding or not. When you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you already put yourself in those positions. Period. And if you're doing the wrong shit and what you're not supposed to do, or something that doesn't feed into your progression, something that doesn't feed your purpose and what you're doing and what you're going after and progressing, then you have the possibility of worse or bad things happening because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. It's not, and this is the key, you're not in alignment. You see, everything you talk about and think about and proclaim and say and post on social media and write down as your goals and claim that you want, everything has to be fucking in alignment with that. But if you watch me and then you share something like, yeah, you're supposed to be, working hard and following your schedule, and then I see your ass in a Black Friday line, damn, you're fucked up. Your wires are crossed. You're not going to get anywhere because you're saying one thing and doing something else. Your thought, deed, action is not in alignment. And that's really what a lot of this boils down to. And this is where people fuck up, and that's where the disconnect is. That's why. For you to get stuff, ladies and gentlemen, you got to be sharp, man. You have to be fucking razor sharp with what you do from start to finish. Progress, right? Again, let's take the example of, weights and conditioning and health. Somebody will diet and work their ass off for months to achieve results, and they lose it all within a week or two, maybe 2 weeks. Results that took them 3 months, they can lose in 2 weeks. So right there is a universal understanding, because that's applicable in any category. There is no category that you win quickly and lose slow. You win slowly and lose quickly. For all the salespeople, you know how quickly you can lose momentum as you build it up and things are going well. We know this. We all fucking know this. A kid knows this. He figures this out very quickly. Yet we want to deny the fact, and then we do things like complain, oh, I'm not getting results. Motherfucker, you already know it's like that. Stop complaining. We know a lot of the dynamics to the game, but we want to, again, bitch about them, say they're unfair, and do and engage in activities, again, that don't get you anywhere. But the person who wants to get to the top, they don't engage in the activity of complaining and bitching and moaning and that kind of stuff, right? So again, that one action is off and you're not in alignment, right? The person who's sharp is going to say, okay, I'm not getting the result. Okay, let's refine the approach. Let's make some tweaks. They're not going to engage in the activity of complaining. If that door doesn't open, they're going to knock on the next one and the next one and the next one and the next one. Not sit there and be like, man, that one door I knocked on, fuck. So maybe you end up listening to this podcast, the recording or wherever you are, and maybe you had plans on doing something like Black Friday, or you're realizing now, fuck, there's some stuff that I'm doing that I shouldn't be doing. But let this serve as a reminder of some of these activities Tell yourself the thoughts that I'm having, how I'm speaking to others and myself, the actions that I'm doing on a daily basis, every moment, every minute, every day, every week, every month. Am I in alignment or am I off alignment? And if you're off alignment, get back on it immediately. Because the tally in the universe is being taken and you're being watched 24/7. And where you're supposed to be in a week, in a month, in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years, you'll be exactly where you're supposed to be based on that, based on the alignment or lack thereof, every time. And then if you don't get the result that you want to get, then you have no one to blame but yourself. And say, shit, okay, I got to step it up. I got to make some tweaks here. Period. Nothing else to be discussed. So when I take this final note and synopsis on the holidays, I see a lot of people stuck, almost like in this zombie mode when it comes to this stuff. And I still get a lot of people complaining, messaging me, well, like I made a video last year on why I don't celebrate the holidays, and oh my God, some people got their fucking panties in a bunch about it, and I laughed. I said, these people are defending something that they don't even fucking realize is destroying them. Just by reading their comments, I'm like, these people aren't even seeking it's going over their head. And I almost feel compassion for them, saying, fuck, they need to snap out of it. So I'm not even upset about it. It's just, I see potential being wasted is what I see in many cases. Like ignorance that has been so embedded in people that they're not even aware that they're ignorant. One of the movements now in society is giving people this false sense that they're woke or having spiritual awakenings, and it's literally just another trap, and people aren't even realizing it. And those people pushing I'm spiritually awake now and I'm woke and this and that. I'm like, dude, you've buried yourself deeper than you think, and you have this false illusion that you're fucking awakened and so aware. And a very quick conversation or just looking at their actions and what they do and how they speak and how their level of confidence and all that. It's like, okay, dude, it's obviously apparent that you're not. You just have people around you who maybe are a notch below you, so you think you're the shit, but you don't know anything. Okay, not to say that I'm the, end all be all and I know everything, because I don't. But you start seeing these things, but those traps are set up on purpose. So this is why whenever you find yourself off the path or deviating or getting caught up in things where you just feel like doing something and you're not being strategic, you need to get back to the path of alignment and strategy. And what's an attack on that? Oh, you're being too rigid, you're not having fun. See, they have all these fucking traps set up to fuck with you and make you second guess what you're doing. It's nuts. And the more you start decoding it and understanding it, the more free you are. This is why now I do more, I achieve more, I accomplish more with less effort and less stress. As time goes on, I'm doing more with less effort. I'm more calm, I'm more at peace, and everything that I want, I'm getting more of it. But simply, mentally, I'm becoming more free, and I'm pulling away these weeds and traps that I've been living with that other people continue to live with. And it's been more of a stripping away process than an adding on process, if that makes sense to people, as I get farther along on this road. And it seriously is that. But that's my commitment, to continue stripping away a lot of these false ideas and beliefs and philosophies and ways of being and looking at things and frames and all that stuff that just is so buried in you and you don't even realize it's there anymore. So that's been the focus. And man, it's so liberating. And that's why I'll talk about stuff like the holidays and really, do what I can and let my message get out there, even though I don't have the biggest audience, but it starts at the individual level, like I've said many times. Okay? So with that said, I will now wrap this up and give my final word, wrap it up with some announcements, and then if you stick with me on Instagram, I'll answer your questions for a few minutes, okay? So as always, hope you guys enjoyed this one. This is Supreme Being, my podcast, and last 3 announcements. Number 1, if you need anything real estate worldwide, go to teambcsoul.com. Message us. We'll take care of you. Number 2, if you are in the real estate world and you want to partner with myself and my team, go to partnerwithteambc.com and set up a call with us. And number 3, last but not least, Modern Success. If you're not on my Modern Success program, we've revamped things, and I'll show you on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. But definitely check it out. Go to BRYANCasella.com or go to the link in my bio on Instagram, okay? Every week, every Monday, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll see you on the next episode. Peace.